Good morning, class. My name is Dr. Araypool. You can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. I had sent several emails regarding the course earlier for you to explore the course. So here's the homepage of Canvas, and I put numbers, so just follow the numbers. Number one was this video. It's a welcoming message, welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here. Number two is the class philosophy, course objective. So let's look at that quickly. We're going to go over that. Let's see if we can make this happen fast.
This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The primary objectives of our Survey of Calculus 1 course include the foundational principles of calculus, an integral branch of mathematics that delves into comprehending rates of change and accumulation. The principal aim of this course is to familiarize students with the fundamental concepts and techniques of calculus, which form the bedrock for grasping alterations and deviations in diverse fields. The course will be structured around several key focal points, encompassing the exploration of fundamental concepts of analytic geometry, the study of limits and continuity, and the exploration of differentiation and integration pertaining to algebraic and trigonometric functions. Additionally, the course will engage with real-life applications from the realm of life sciences, showcasing various interpretations of derivatives and integrals. These applications will span topics such as maximum-minimum problems and optimization, linearization, and difference equations, sequences, sequential limits, as well as antiderivatives and integrations. Instructors' contact information. Email me via Canvas or use the email address era.eraeipor@csulb.edu, and I reply from Monday to Friday within 24 hours.
Going back to the homepage of Canvas, number three, announcements. Let me put this in student mode. So on the left navigation bar or right here, you can click on announcements. These are the announcements that have been sent to you in the form of an email. So a lot of stuff, when I want to send it to the student, I put it in the announcement. So in case you miss that in your email, just for any reason, you can find it here. For example, information about exams coming up. You have the exam information and the password will be emailed to you. And if you miss it for any reason, you can find it here. So going back to the homepage of Canvas. The next one, number four, you have the following. So I'm going to quickly mention those all the way down, and then I come back to elaborate. Syllabus. Again, you can find it right here or under the left side of the navigation bar. Modules, which has the practice test, PowerPoints, solution to practice test, homework, quiz, discussion forum, exams. At the bottom of the page, I want everybody to pay attention. This is a Zoom meeting for office hours with all the information, which in this semester takes place daily from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay. And we don't want to mix this up with this Zoom meeting. On the left navigation bar right here, if you click on the Zoom meeting and join the class, we don't want to mix them up. This Zoom meeting is for the class. This is for office hours. All right. Before I go back and start working on this stuff with the syllabus and modules, I want to also look at the discussion forum. You can look at the discussion forum from here or on the left navigation bar. What do you find there? Quickly, the first one is the student bios. You find mine as an example. You can put yours. And please, if you answer a fellow student, if you want to reply to them with utmost respect, that would be wonderful. The second one, frequently asked questions. Before you ask any question, if a question has not been answered, please review that. This takes a couple of minutes of your time. For example, how do you to use a math editor? Do I need a course ID for my Open Math? The answer is no here. Discussion about the tech support, access to expired homework. Everything is answered here. The last one, number 8 here, is important because I don't know why everybody keeps on asking. As I mentioned, the exam password will be emailed to you. But if you miss it for any reason, you can find it under the announcements with the same topic, exam 1, exam 2, and so forth. Final exam is the only exam that you come to class, I mean Zoom meeting, and I give you the password. But other than that, all the exams are set up for Saturdays. So let's go back to the home page. And again, let's go with the syllabus. Syllabus, you can click on it here or on the left navigation bar, makes no difference. First, I want to show you the Excel calendar. The Excel calendar contains the calendar of events. For example, the introductory assignment to my Open Math takes place immediately, algebra review. And then these are the sections that we teach on a daily basis, okay? So that's the calendar. Syllabus. All right, so we start with, of course, welcoming the student, information about the course, how to log in. And here's the topics. The reason I go with the topics is because syllabus nowadays, our syllabi are getting larger and larger. So in case you don't want to spend time on every topic, you can go to a specific topic. For example, I would say grading policy is probably the most important topic for the students. I may be wrong. In any event, I'm going to quickly cover all of them, and you can go back to each and every one of them that you need. The material that we need, catalog, course goals. The text I will show you when we go over my Open Math. Class calendar says every 3 to 4 weeks we have an exam. So, and again, all exams are set up for Saturdays, except the final. The final is set up by campus, and the same day, the same time, we all come to the class. But as far as other exams, the week of exam, you receive an email/announcement that gives you the information about the exam, including the password, every 3 to 4 weeks. There will be no proctorio. Okay, important meetings. Calculators. You may use a scientific calculator for the exam, not a graphing calculator. However, I have put resources about free online calculators that you can get because I believe you don't have to pay for anything. Tech support, math tutorial center, also free for everybody. Here's the grading policy. We have 4 exams, each one is 100 points. Homework is 200 points, contains the homework, introduction to my Open Math, algebra review, those are part of the homework, 10 points, 20 points, 170 points. And you have multiple attempts as far as the due date is concerned, up to the due date. Then we have a bunch of quizzes, a total of 100 points, and the final is 300 points. And it's a point system. First, I want to discuss that. So 1,000 points is total. 90%, that means 900 or more, is an A. 80%, that means 800 or more, is a B. And it's easy to figure it out because just the point system. Also, your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final. as long as the following stands. Number one, your final grade should be good, B or 80% or higher. Homework and quizzes must be high at 95%. And more importantly, this action results in a higher letter grade. In other words, if we do all of that and a B remains as a B, it defeats the purpose. There's no reason to do that. There is no makeup policy. If it comes up, you let me know in advance. Remember, on Monday of the week of the exam, on Monday, you receive the information about the exam, so you don't have to take it on the day that it's due. You can do it earlier. Late work, you get 10% deduction. There is no late work for the first couple of assignments, introductory to math, my open math, and algebra review, and also the last module. CSGLB 36 indicates, these are the stuff that I think is important for students to know. According to the research they have done, we need 3 hours per unit. So for this class, we need 9 hours per week to do a good job outside the classroom. Then there are other policies such as dropping disability, so on and so forth. So I have more information if anybody needs them, okay? And some people may not, need any of those, but please understand everything is there. Summary steps to success. You want to study the lecture PowerPoints, create formula sheets, and make up index cards, do the examples, do the homework, and the quizzes to get ready for the exam. Office hours are posted at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas as well as here, okay? And again, some important dates, such as when the school is closed and so forth. So that's the syllabus, everybody. I'm going to go back to the homepage. Now, the next one is the modules that pretty much we have everything under that. So I want to show you what you find under modules. Again, you can click on modules here or click on modules here, makes no difference. So what do we find first and foremost? This is your digital platform. I'm going to show you, then we come back to look at it and work on some stuff. So when you click on that, it takes you to this website. You either have a username and password, which means you're signing, or you don't, you create one. I suggest you use the same username and password for your email that you have for school. It's your choice, of course. It's a lot easier that way to remember it. And so you create an account. You don't need a course ID because you get to your digital platform from Canvas. The next one, and we're going to go back to that later. The next one, as the name indicates, recorded lectures. We have all the lectures that have been recorded previously. The latest one is the previous semester. From the get-go all the way to the end. Everything you can find there. Those are the PowerPoint lectures as well as the exam reviews. Okay. And the new one, as it becomes available, I put it at top of that. It's coming up, of course, as you can guess. Then what happens? Exam 1 module, exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4 module, final exam review. And we're going to cover exam 1 and the rest of them repeat in the same manner. Finally, at the end, there is some information about calculators. What I have put here, besides the online calculators that you found there are ways to download certain calculators into your computer. Sometimes they really don't work. Sometimes they do work. But these are various resources, again, all free to the students. I thought I gather here for you. If you continue, you find some commands if anybody is interested. So this is a TI calculator and other calculators as well. Going back to the modules, now I want to cover exam 1 module. What do we find here? First, you see the exam one review. And why did I put this as the first one? I wanted you to take a few minutes. It doesn't take more than 3 to 5 minutes of your time to look at these questions. And these are the synopsis of everything you need to know for the first exam. And I do have the key, but the solution will be given later. So you have the first exam review. And when you're done with the first exam, you know what happens with the rest of them in the same manner. So first you have the exam review. Then what happens here? Exam one. These are the sections and their PowerPoints. So, for example, you see them here. If I click on the first one, everybody, notice what happens. If we look at the very first section, I want you to notice this. I have definitions, proofs, examples. What is missing? Solution to every example will be done in class from step one all the way to the end. The purpose of this is to make sure you have the minimum amount of writing, rather you just focus on learning, okay? So please understand where you can find the PowerPoints and the fact that you don't have to write anything whatsoever except when we get to the examples and we do the solutions from A to Z. The last one for exam one module is the solution to some of those questions and more with details. And this is the one that we cover on the week of exam to get you ready for the exam. And with that, if you pay attention and you get comfortable, you'll be more than ready to nail the exam. So everything with details is there, okay? So a quick recap for this module. So under the module, you find your digital platform, recorded lectures, exam reviews, and you start with one of the modules, obviously the first module, which has the exam review, PowerPoints, and solution to problem. So we are ready to look at our digital platform and what happens right then and there. So first of all, leave the student mode. So it brings you here when you go to module and your course math 119A. What do we find here? At the very top, we have mandatory assignment to my open math, which is doing a couple of days. The next thing is algebra review. These are the two that we do first. I'm going to come back and start with this, showing you how to work with your homework in a moment. Exams and quizzes. I'm going to minimize it for now, but whenever the time comes, for example, quiz one is coming up in no time. You have to find it right here. This is the course description, and I want you to understand what happens here.
All content is in the course modules folders, which include videos and sets of homework exercises. Some videos are embedded within the homework and some can be found at the beginning of the chapter.
So everything is found right then and there. First of all, this is the calendar. Pay attention to the calendar before we move on. The introductory assignment is coming up very soon, and then the algebra review. Then we have quizzes. Look at the homework. All of them are lumped together here. Does that mean that they have to wait until this day, which is the day before the exam, to do the homework? Absolutely not. If we do that, we will not make it in this course. Okay. Instead, every time I finish a section, and I will mention it in class, we are done with this section, you can go do your homework. And you find that this stuff, you find them under module 1. I'll show you in a moment. Okay. But first, I want to discuss module 0. So what is module 0? As the name indicates, resources. We can find a text, grade books, so on and so forth. Here's the text, everybody, and it's mostly for reference. Okay, I want you to know that. And you have a choice of view it online. You can download a PDF file, you name it. And if you don't need it, you don't need it. And there are more information about the textbooks, various parts that may not be in here. Okay, I have them here. For example, some information from pre-calculus. So that's the text. Now, how to use a late pass, calendar, my open math gradebook. This, please understand, your grade becomes available immediately to you in my open math, and then I transfer it, put it in Canvas when the time comes. For example, you take exam 1, then a day later or 2 will show up in Canvas. But any moment you finish your homework or exam, you can see it here. Now, the next one is free online calculators. And for example, one of them, this Desmos calculator, we have videos explaining how to work, and there are several videos, okay? So those are resources. Under module 0, the last resource that I put here is chapter review, which means when you do the algebra review as part of your homework, the purpose of that is to make sure you know where you stand. And if you feel uncomfortable, you can find all the resources that you need here. And if you need more resources, let me know. I can give you my YouTube channels of various courses. So that will take care of the business. So that is chapter module 0. So module 0 is what? Resources. Your course starts with module 1 as it does in Canvas. First, what do you find? Text and pages of text that you need. Then what do you find? Videos. Now, if the PowerPoint that we have, and I'm going to, of course, record our work, is good enough for you, you don't have to worry about that. If you have any doubts, I highly recommend you look at some of them. Maybe some of them will be fascinating to you. And then that's your homework. This is the first homework, okay, which contains section 1.6 and 2.1. However, the purpose of this one is to get you familiar with the way you do the homework. And let's do that. So you are starting introduction to my open math. And it basically gives you information. For example, it says, okay, put this number in. The moment I click on the box, it opens a math palette. For example, if I need a square root, I can use that just for the sake of. This one just says, put this number in. What is it? 65.6187. Just put it in. Then it says, use the same number and round it to the nearest hundred. So 65.106. And the next number is 1. Next to 1 is 8, goes up to 2. Remember, if a number next to it is 5 or higher, you round up. Can you divide by 0? No. So we say it's undefined. They don't have a DNE, stands for does not exist. And the moment I submit the question, the check mark tells me that I've done it right. And my grade has been registered so far for this question for the entire set, this set. Number 2, when entering a decimal number, enter 4 and pay attention to this. 4 or more decimals. You want to pay attention to this. So this is 0.3 bar. So let's answer it wrong. Let's write just with 1 decimal, okay, and submit it. And that makes it wrong. So what happens? Just get a similar question. Now, it happened to give me the same question. Now, this time I put 0 point and I put a bunch of trees, as many as you want, more than 4, and submit it. And now we got it right. And that's the beauty of this set of homework. You can do as many times as you want to get the credit you want. And so what happens next? Something comes up, I can't continue. If I click done, see what happens. It has registered that 2 questions are done and I got my points. The rest of them are unattempted. As long as I come back and I do it before the due date, I can resume. And it updates my grade. But if it's after that, just that percentage that I got 2 out of 20, that would be my grade. Okay, so I already have my grade if I don't come back to finish the unattempted one. So I'm going to exit. And again, I can come back. And the same thing happens with the algebra review. And some of these questions, some of the homework, they do have videos. It's important to understand that. They do have videos. And so here's the synopsis of what happened. So a quick recap. Here's the homepage of Canvas. Number 1, welcoming message. Number 2, class philosophy. Number 3, announcements. You can find it that has been sent to you, including the information about upcoming exams. At the bottom of the page, you have the office hours, the Zoom meeting for the office hours. Right in the middle where it says Zoom meeting, right here, this is the Zoom meeting for the class. We went over the syllabus. And then we find everything under the modules. So the syllabus has the calendar and the actual syllabus. Discussion forum has the student bios and frequently asked questions. Modules has everything you need. This is where you go to digital platform, you do your homework. This is recorded lectures. And you're concerned with exam 1 module and no more, because everything else repeats except the last one, which is a resource about calculators. So what do you find under the first module? You find the exam review, PowerPoints. You don't have to write anything during the lecture except solution to the examples. And this is the solution to the practice test with details and a lot more. You go to my open math. Here's the calendar. We make sure we do the homework on a daily basis. Module 0 contains a lot of resources, including the chapter review. This is in case we don't feel too comfortable with algebra review. Then the entire thing starts with module 1. 1.6 and 2.1, we have the text info, videos, if we need them, and the homework starts here. But we start with introductory assignment to my open math to learn how to deal with my open math, as well as algebra review to see what is our prior knowledge of mathematics. The algebra review tells us where we stand and if we need more help. When it's time to take the quizzes and exams, we can find it under the exams and quizzes. All right. I wish everybody happy studying and best of luck.